Good day, this is SciPi, and today we're going to answer another mathematical question that has probably puzzled you since you started taking math. And our question is going to be, that we hope to answer, why is any number to the 0 power equal to 1. Now, I was always a student in math that would ask why. And back when I was growing up, the teachers didn't like that question. They didn't want you to know why. And so I started thinking, they probably don't know why. But I think it's important that we understand why things work in math. So we're going to look at today, we're going to look at this question, and hopefully by the end of the lesson we'll be able to answer it. So what we're going to do is we're going to look at patterns, because all math is based on patterns. If you can figure out the pattern, you can do math. So let's look at 2. So I'm going to write some 2's here. And let's put an exponent. Let's put a 1 here, a 2 here, a 3 here, and a 4 here. And we're going to go ahead and solve these. So 2 to the first power, we all know that's 2. And 2 squared is 2 times 2, which is 4. And 2 cubed is 2 times 2 times 2, which is going to give us 8. And 2 to the 4th is going to give us 16. So now let's ask ourselves, how did we get from 2 to 4? We multiplied by 2. How do we get from 4 to 8? That's right, we multiplied by 2. And how did we get from 8 to 16? Ah, perfect. We multiplied by 2. Now we're going to go the other way. And I'm going to have to erase part of my sentence, but let's not forget what it says, because that's our question for today. Let's go the other way. How would I get from 16 to 8? That's right, I would divide by 2. How would I get from 8 to 4? Divide by 2. How would I get from 4 to 2? Divide by 2. Now let's put up here 2 to the 0 power. How would I get from this answer to this answer? What's our pattern? Divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2. So what is 2 divided by 2? Voila, it's 1. Now maybe you're saying, oh, that just works for even numbers because these are even numbers. So let's try, because if all math is based on patterns, it ought to work for odd numbers, correct? So let's try an odd number. So let's look at an odd number. Let's do 3. So let's put 3, 3, 3, and 3. So let's add our exponents. 3 to the first power, squared, cubed, 3 to the 4th power. So 3 to the first power is 3. 3 squared is 9. 3 cubed is 27. And 3 to the 4th is 81. So let's ask the same questions we asked before. How did we get from 3 to 9? Okay. Same thing here. And the same thing here. See the pattern? All right, now let's go back. How do I get from 81 to 27? I divide 81 by 3. Same thing, I divide 27 by 3. What do I do to get 3? Divide 9 by 3. So if I have 3 to the 0, I'm going to do 3 divided by 3 gets me 1. Again, notice the pattern. Multiply, divide. So why is any number to the 0 power? Because of the pattern that we see here. And it will work for every number. Thank you. Have a good day.